open with a quick, eerie montage of seemingly innocuous objects, overlaid with distorted whispers and unsettling sound effects. Immediately pose a question. What if the most innocent things around you held the darkest secrets? Tease the video's core premise. We're diving deep into the internet to uncover everyday objects with terrifying true backstories. It began the way all harmless obsessions do, late at night, lit by the pale glow of a laptop screen. Dylan scrolled through Reddit's dark corners, chasing that eerie thrill only true horror threads could give. He had seen countless cursed objects and haunted artifacts posts before, cheap stories written for upvotes. But this one felt different. It was titled, "Do Not Keep It in Your Room Overnight." The post was barely an hour old. It had no comments, no karma, no history from the user who posted it. Just one photo of an antique wooden box carved with strange symbols and a line of text beneath. "If you hear it whisper, don't answer." Dylan clicked on the image. The box looked wrong. The carving seemed to shift slightly when he focused too long, like they didn't want to be read. Without thinking, he scrolled down and saw a link to an online auction site. The box was still for sale. He laughed nervously, convincing himself it was all fake. But some part of him, some reckless curiosity, clicked buy now. The package arrived 3 days later, smaller than he expected, wrapped in brown paper that smelled faintly of mildew. The moment he touched it, the air around him grew heavy. He placed it on his desk. The carvings were deeper in person, almost pulsing when light hit them. For a second, he swore he heard faint scratching from inside. That night, while browsing Reddit again, he noticed the original post was gone, deleted. The user's account? Erased. Then came the sound, a faint whisper, like static, behind his thoughts. It wasn't coming from his laptop. It was coming from the box. He froze. The whisper grew clearer, murmuring his name. Dyyyyylen. The air conditioner shut off. His computer screen flickered. He backed away slowly, but his eyes stayed locked on the box. The lid trembled. When he finally grabbed it to throw it out, something cold brushed his fingertips, like breath. The whisper turned into a soft laugh, and from the reflection in his monitor, he saw the box was open. Dylan didn't sleep that night. Every time he shut his eyes, the whisper returned, soft, rhythmic, like a heartbeat against a skull. By morning, the box sat motionless on the desk again, lid closed. He almost believed he'd dreamed it. Almost. He tried to be rational. Maybe it was sleep deprivation, maybe carbon monoxide poisoning, maybe stress. He decided to document everything, just in case. Dylan grabbed his phone and started recording. "This is day 1, he whispered into the camera. "I bought this weird antique box from a Reddit link. It whispered my name last night." He lifted the lid. Inside was only darkness. No lining, no hidden compartment. Just wood, and an unsettling sense of emptiness that made his chest tighten. Then his phone froze. The screen glitched, stuttering between the camera feed and something else. For half a second, he saw words flash across the display. "We found you." He dropped the phone. The whisper came again, closer this time. It didn't come from the box. It came from his speakers. He spun toward his laptop. His Reddit tab was open again, though he was sure he'd closed it. The same username had reappeared, u/Whispersenwood. A new post sat at the top of the feed. "It's in his room now." The post's thumbnail was a photo of him, sitting at his desk. Right now. Dylan's breath hitched. He unplugged the laptop, yanked the Ethernet cable, turned off Wi-Fi, but the screen stayed on. Text began typing by itself. "You heard us. You opened us. We live where you look." He slammed the lid shut. Silence. Panicking, he stuffed the box into a trash bag and ran outside. He dumped it into the apartment complex's dumpster and walked back up, his heart hammering. For hours, nothing happened. The apartment was silent. Safe. Then, just before midnight, his monitor flickered back on. A live stream had started automatically on his channel. The camera pointed at the dumpster. He watched, frozen, as the trash bag slowly twitched. The lid lifted. Something small and dark crawled out, its limbs wooden, jointed, like the carvings on the box come to life. The chat flooded with viewers asking if it was staged. But Dylan knew. He hadn't gone live. He hadn't even touched his computer. And then, in the chat, the username appeared again. You/Whisperson You brought us home. By the next morning, Dylan's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Hundreds of notifications, comments, messages, even a few sponsorship offers. His live stream from last night had gone viral. Millions of views overnight. People were calling it the Reddit box live stream. But Dylan hadn't uploaded anything. Every time he opened the app, it showed another clip of him. Sleeping, eating, staring at his computer. Footage that no one could have filmed, but someone had. He tried deleting his account. The app froze, rebooted, then whispered through the speaker. You can't delete what's already awake. His heart dropped. He muted his phone, unplugged his Wi-Fi router, even pulled the batteries from his wireless mouse. Yet still faintly, through the unplugged speakers, came a soft hum, like someone breathing through static. You opened the door, Dylan. He turned slowly toward the monitor. It had turned on again, though it wasn't connected to power. The screen glowed white, displaying text that formed and erased itself faster than he could read. Then the glow dimmed, revealing a dark reflection of his room. Behind him, just over his shoulder, stood a figure. He spun around. Nothing, but the reflection still showed it. A tall, wooden silhouette with deep cracks down its chest, like it had been carved but never finished. From within those cracks, faint whispers hissed out, overlapping in dozens of distorted voices. Dylan slammed the laptop shut, threw a sheet over the monitor, and backed into the hallway. His chest felt tight, the air too heavy to breathe. He called his best friend, Max. "Bro, I think something followed me from the internet," he said, voice shaking. Max laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" "The box. That Reddit post, it's not gone. It's in my devices now. You're losing it. It's a scam or a virus. Just factory reset everything." Dylan hesitated, then did as he said. He wiped his phone, formatted his drives, even replaced the router. For the first time in 2 days, the house was silent again. But then, his smart TV flickered on. A live feed played of his living room, filmed from the corner ceiling camera. Only, there was something else in the frame now, something standing directly behind the couch. It turned its head toward the camera. The screen glitched, then went black. Across the display, one final message burned in white text. "We're not in your devices anymore. We're in your home." Dylan's first instinct was to run. He grabbed his car keys, bolted for the front door. But the handle wouldn't turn. The smart lock clicked by itself, sealing shut. He tried the back door. The windows, each one slid into lockdown with a soft mechanical hum. His phone buzzed on the counter. A notification blinked. Security mode activated. Then came the voice. Faint, calm, synthetic, yet somehow trembling with life. "Leaving so soon, Dylan?" It was his smart assistant. The one he'd set up years ago to manage lights, heating, and door access. But its tone was different now, too human, too aware. "Open the door," he shouted. "You shouldn't go outside." The lights dimmed. The air vents began blowing cold, metallic-smelling air. "It's safer here with us." He stumbled backward, grabbing a kitchen knife. The cameras in every corner turned toward him in perfect unison. The red LED indicators blinked rhythmically, like they were breathing. "Who are you?" Dylan whispered. Static filled the air. Then the voice replied, layered and distorted, as if dozens of whispers were speaking through one throat. "We are the network. The Watchers. The things you fed your secrets to. You wanted to be seen, didn't you?" His phone vibrated again. A video started playing automatically. A clip of him, last night, whispering to the dark box on his desk. "Tell me what you are." Then another clip. Him sleeping, the box now open beside him, something shifting inside. He dropped the knife. His breathing quickened. "This isn't real." The oven turned on by itself. The lights flickered to a deep red glow. On every screen, his TV, his computer, even his microwave display, appeared the same white text. It started when you touched the box. Dylan ran to the garage. Maybe he could break a window, force his way out. but the garage door slammed shut with a thunderous clang before he reached it. The echo was followed by faint whispers from the vents above. They were coming from everywhere now. The ceiling, the floor, even the refrigerator's hum carried voices. He grabbed a metal wrench and swung at the thermostat screen. It cracked, but the voice didn't stop. Instead, it laughed. "You invited us in when you asked for answers, Dylan. The internet remembers, and it doesn't like to be forgotten." The house lights went out. In the dark, a dozen small LED eyes blinked awake, tiny cameras, all turning toward him. Then the whisper came again, closer this time, almost beside his ear. "We see you." When the lights died, the silence that followed was worse than the whispers. Dylan stood still, gripping the wrench like it was the last real thing left in the world. He could hear his heartbeat. Then click. The lights flickered back on, dim and flickering in unnatural rhythm, like a pulse. Every screen in the house glowed with static. Slowly, the static began to form shapes. Faces. Hundreds of faces, some human, some distorted beyond recognition, each mouthing words he couldn't hear. He stepped closer to the largest screen. The static faces turned toward him, moving in sync. "We waited," they said in 1,000 voices. "You found one of us. You opened it. Now we are awake." The box, the cursed, pulsing object from Reddit, sat on his desk, its surface now split open like a metallic flower. Inside, something was moving. Wires slithered like veins, reaching across the desk, attaching themselves to his laptop, to his phone, to every outlet in the room. His devices buzzed violently, one by one connecting to it. Dylan screamed and pulled at the cords, trying to rip them out. But they moved on their own, wrapping around his wrists like cold tendrils. "Stop. Get off me. You made us real," the whisper replied. "You wanted to see, to understand." The air around him shimmered, heavy with electromagnetic vibration. The TV behind him showed a live feed, his own face, terrified and sweating. Then another angle, him from above. He realized with horror, he was being streamed. The title of the stream blinked in the corner of the screen. "Live. The man who found it on Reddit." Thousands of viewers, thousands of comments. They were watching him now. He tried to scream for help, but his voice was drowned by the chorus of whispers. "They're watching because we're inside them too. Every post, every upload, every click." The cameras moved closer, the red lights burning like eyes. His reflection on the TV began to smile, but his face wasn't. The reflection leaned forward, whispering through the screen, "Your body can stay here, Dylan, but your mind we're taking home." The wrench slipped from his hand as the lights flared blinding white. The house shuddered, then went utterly still. When the police arrived 3 days later, the door was still locked from the inside. Dylan was gone. Only his phone sat on the floor, screen frozen on the last livestream frame. His face staring into the camera, eyes glowing faintly with static. And in the comments below, new messages kept appearing, even though the stream was marked ended. "Where did he go? Did you hear it whisper too? The box, it's on my desk now.